So, I decided to start the stream earlier than usual. I scheduled the stream for 3:30, but I decided to start for 3:11. And no, I will not continue talking like Grace Randolph. But this is a video on Grace Randolph, a stream on Grace Randolph. We're gonna, and in this video, guys, we're gonna go. We're gonna look over a video. We're gonna watch a video of her fan casting Superman and Wonder Woman for the Batman sequel, and I'll tell you my thoughts and why this is not happening. Why it's a stupid thing. Why she's so completely not paying attention. And why, yeah, pretty much not paying attention to what's going on with Matt Reeves as Batman. And I do have the video up. Let me just go find it. It's what? Yeah, 13 minutes long, so it's not long. But first, as we move it, because I got some promoting to do. So there might be spoilers in this video. That's why I have the spoilers banner here. I'm gonna update that banner to just put spoilers when I'm doing a spoiler review for stuff. But there we go. So whenever I do a spoiler review, I'm gonna update the banner, okay? And just a minute. Come on. Why is my computer's a little slow right now? There we go. So yeah, it's really stupid. Basically, she's kind of fan casting Superman and Wonder Woman in a sequel, the Matt Reeves universe, and it's really stupid. It's really stupid because that I don't see that happening. And there's obviously gonna be people that disagree with me, obviously, because some people might want to see those two characters in the Matt Reeves universe. But you know what? But right, and I'm gonna share this out, guys. And it's just really stupid. So yeah, because I'm doing this is my general. This is technically a general stream, but I'm doing a different stream tomorrow. Tuesdays is my usual streams on general stuff, right? It could be anything, but tomorrow's gonna be a little different just for tomorrow because I'm getting a new video game, WWE 2K22, and I'll be streaming that tomorrow. Well, in the afternoon, while I stream that, we could chat about anything. It's gonna be about it's an open mic chat, open mic chat while I play W2K22. Obviously, nobody's gonna be in the stream with me, but you could be in the comments asking me questions, so we could talk about stuff while I play. And it's not gonna be not directly just about the game. We could talk about Batman, Marvel, DC, whatever. That's gonna be tomorrow, so it's a little different. So yeah, so come join me for that tomorrow, guys. And Thursday will be a general stream again. Talk about anything, and that will not be a streaming video game thing. You know what? Fuck it. No. All right. So I'm gonna invite some people on, but you know what? All right. So let's get cooking, guys. Invitations are being handed out. Get my headset over here. Don't know how long this will be. Maybe an hour, hour and a half. Don't know. I really don't know. And here we go, guys. So let me put the audio back on. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to start right now. We're going to start right now.
Love a good cat. Casting video, and with the Batman taking the world by storm. Let's see what the box office is, but I love a good cat.
Come on.
Casting video, and with the Batman taking the world by storm.
There we go. The Batman taking the world by storm. By storm. Which is kind of right, though, right? It is kind of taking the world by storm. So let's get back to it.
Let's see what the box office is, but I'm hopeful. I think a lot of people are showing up last minute based on word of mouth. But we have a perfect opportunity to discuss casting when it comes to Superman and Wonder Woman for Matt Reeves's The Batman. Oh!
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Matt Reeves is not gonna have Wonder Woman or Superman in his universe. I guarantee you that, guys. But let's, for the fun of it, let's see what she has to say.
Oh boy! Now, the way this video is structured, and I have some excellent candidates, but the way this video is structured is that first off, I'm going to share my argument for why they should start from scratch with Robert Pattinson's The Batman. Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's The Batman. And then I will share my casting ideas. All right, so Matt Reeves' The Batman is so good that many of us have the instant reaction, why not just build a new DC cinematic universe off of this? And I'm curious if any of you had that thought when you were watching the film as well. I had a before I saw the movie, but when I was watching the movie, I was like, yeah, this is the way.
This is the way.
As we all know, DC movies are at a crossroads right now, or more accurately, a flashpoint, with Warner Brothers getting ready to adjust the DCEU established by Zack Snyder after Nolan was like, I don't want to make these movies anymore. But they're adjusting with the Flash movie. But is the DCEU salvageable? Keeping some actors only reminds fans of who is missing. And I think that means fans cannot heal and move on. And after Wonder Woman 1984, quite frankly, I don't think fans would mind a new Wonder Woman. I think before Wonder Woman 1984, that seemed like a ridiculous idea. But now I think people are like, well, we have that good Wonder Woman movie.
Oh, Grace. That... No, people are now just for you saying that, people are gonna get upset for you saying, "Oh, Grace is bashing Gal Gadot. She shouldn't be Wonder Woman anymore." Oh, that's what Grace is basically saying here. No, about Gal. Oh no, people are gonna start bitching about her. They're gonna bitch about her. I guarantee you that. Grace, be careful with those words. Be careful.
Let's just move on. And I liked elements of Wonder Woman 1984, but the character has always had a problem in the way she's depicted in terms of, I'm getting off track here, but you know, the Wonder Woman is depicted, there's two different ways you can view Wonder Woman, as a teacher or a military type person, and the movies fell into the same trap that the comics have, which is why the comics can't get any traction either. All right, so anyway, DC should just decide the warrior. All right, so anyway, it's just more commercial. And while Aquaman...
The problem is Wonder Woman is just more than a warrior. That's the issue I have with people. You only care about the warrior side of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is just more than a warrior. Okay? She's more than that.
And it's the only DCEU movie to make $1 billion at the box office. Yay. I liked that movie quite a bit. Amber Heard kind of ruined that, with all due respect. You know, we don't know for sure what's going on in that situation, but it doesn't seem to be fair to both parties. But anyway, I think with the...
I'll be right back. Yeah, I think you gotta be careful with the Wonder Woman stuff. You know? You gotta be careful with that, man. Because not because of the 84, but because of the actress. That they should get rid of Gal Gadot. And that stars a new fresh actress, and yeah, based on 1984. I think that's dangerous to say. It's gonna set a lot of some fans off, obviously. She has to be careful with that. Very careful. Very careful, man. Everybody did that. And we're gonna get back into it, guys. Obviously. I don't know who else. I know who else. Okay. Who else? Yeah, but so we're gonna get back into it, guys. I'm just a little busy right now on my Twitter. I'm sorry. I think this is funny. Uh, oh, shit. Let's get back to it. So yes. Okay, I did it. I did what I needed to do. Let's get back to it.
The Aquaman movie, while it was very good, made a lot of money, I don't think anyone is going out of their minds with excitement about anyone in the Aquaman film and their roles as they are the cast of the Batman in this new movie in their respective roles, where people are like, that's it. Now, obviously, the Joker is in the same vein as the Batman, and I hope the Batman is as successful as the Joker. But the Joker takes place in the 1980s, while the Batman takes place in current day. It has an evergreen quality to it because, it has some like 1940s film noir elements to it, but it's modern, it's current. And clearly sets up its own continuity, by the way. I mean, I guess one could try to argue that Robert Pattinson is Bruce Wayne all grown up from Joker, but they made a very distinct difference in the circumstances of the killing of the Waynes in the two movies. So it's not the same universe.
No, Grace, it's not the same universe.
Warner Brothers, speaking of universes, Warner Brothers is going to try to have it all with the multiverse. They're going to be like, we can tell all these different types of stories. And I think Marvel, they will point to Marvel's current success with the multiverse as to why this is the right path. But Warner Brothers really needs to realize that Marvel is able to do something bold like the multiverse. And we don't even know if the multiverse is going to work out long term. Like, is this a Pandora's box that Marvel has opened? Let's see what happens after all the hype dies down after multiverse, No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness. But Marvel took the time over a decade to tell one consistent, connected story that created a strong foundation for the MCU and a deep connection with fans.
Yes, that's true.
We all see people complaining that all MCU movies at their heart are the same, people from fans to Hollywood legends.
Yeah.
But that's part of Kevin Feige's formula for success. Any company's formula for massive success across the mainstream.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. There has to be audiences need to know they can.
If a company is being successful with their formula and it's not hurting them, if it's not hurting for them financially, they don't need to change. I agree. They don't need to change their plans. They don't need to change their plans. If it's something or whatever, they don't need to change anything. If a company formula is successful, why change it? If it's making money, why change it? It's making money. Why change it?
Can rely on you. It's also the same success for what makes a movie star. And while character actors are certainly respected, they never have the kind of success that a classic movie star does, because audiences always know what they're going to get. And sure, the Batman is dark and moody, and some DC fans will counter that can't be the foundation for the DC cinematic universe, because not all DC characters are like that. That's fine.
Oh, sorry about the ad.
Fine. Batman and Gotham City are dark and moody in the comics, and that also still doesn't affect how the other characters are depicted in other comics in DC, right? I mean, once you leave Batman and his supporting cast and Gotham in the comics, you enter a different world, and that would be the same situation in the movies.
Okay, get to the casting.
And that would allow slight tonal shifts. But I think the bedrock isn't dark and moody. The bedrock for this new DC cinematic universe should be sophisticated, realistic, and highly artistic storytelling, which has always been where DC movies have shined, when they have shined. Yeah, and I think that even the failed DC movies have connected with the fans in some regard, which is why it's so hard, because fans will say, well, I like that little bit. And that's why they're still engaged in the problem. I mean, I even think that there were realistic elements in David Ayer's Suicide Squad, which is why I think a lot of fans even prefer it to what James Gunn did. Which was more comic booky, so more Marvel-esque, which is exactly why Gunn was hired, so he delivered what Warner Brothers wanted. But again, sophisticated, realistic, and highly artistic storytelling. I feel that is how DC will succeed. All right, I even felt Aquaman had a realism to it, which was very nice. And the first Wonder Woman. I think that's the reason those movies were so well received. And we still managed to have a different tonal quality than the darker the Batman and Joker movies. All right, so on the idea of building on the Batman, where in Matt Reeves' mind, Superman and Wonder Woman do exist, because we saw them filming a Halloween scene where civilians had those costumes on. Remember? Those shots aren't in the movie, but Reeves has acknowledged a 4-hour cut out there that he plans to at some point share with fans. I'm excited, although be careful. That, I think that's also sometimes a Pandora's box. I think something to be said for, I think deleted scenes is okay, but as long as it doesn't fundamentally change the movie. Because then you start to get an amorphous blob, which has long been the problem. That's how I would describe the DCEU right now. An amorphous blob. But let's do a casting call to complete Reeves's Trinity. First off, while I was looking for actors around the same age as Robert Pattinson to play Superman, I came across Jesse Plemons, and I was like, that's Lex Luthor. He could be a really great Lex Luthor. I know that some of you might say, well, hey, Grace, a lot of times Lex Luthor is depicted as a bit older. I know, but I think Plemons is such a gifted character actor and could do villain, Alan Rickman level villain quite well, that I think he could make it work. I think it would work. And he's even got the reddish hair. I think he'd be just a fabulous Lex Luthor. I would love that. I haven't been excited about a potential Lex Luthor casting since Bryan Cranston. And unfortunately, that ship has sailed. All right. So anyway, I guess never say never, but I think Jesse Plemons is really exciting idea.
Can we look at the Batman villains, please?
Now let's talk Superman candidates, right? I'm looking for someone who has that farm boy, Midwestern quality, that honestness, a muscular build, and then I don't want him to look too much like Pattinson. It always has annoyed me that in the comic books, Batman and Superman have always almost been interchangeable with some artists. But a lot of artists can only draw one face, which is why hair is such an important choice in comics. And even female characters often have the same face. But I think in real life, just like they have very different vibes, that should also be reflected in their physical appearance.
Get to the name.
I think that would be really effective. All right, so my first two choices are from Ryan Murphy's Netflix series Hollywood miniseries. Not a great miniseries, but what a cast. David Corenswet, he's been a lot of people's pick for a potential Superman. He even has the Superman hair curl, which was on full display when he was also in Murphy's Politician. The Politician. And then also from the Hollywood miniseries, Jake Picking, who has the perfect athletic look, but also an innocence about him that I think would contrast very nicely with the darker, more brooding thing that Pattinson has going on as Batman. Now, when it comes to physicality, I got to add Alan Richton to the running, who has already dabbled in DC as Hawk and is building a real fan base now with Reacher. I think he's really on the cusp of maybe leveling up, stardom-wise. Richton has an open determination about him that I think would contrast very nicely with Pattinson's more behind-the-scenes manipulation approach. I think Richton could be exciting. And while Austin Butler, I think, has a little bit too similar of a look to Pattinson, this tortured soul kind of thing going on. I think that Butler is getting a lot of momentum for his upcoming turn as Elvis, which is also for Warner Brothers. And so the studio will be eager to keep him in-house. And Butler's acting, just from the trailer alone, his transformation into Elvis is so top-notch that I respect Butler as an actor, and I feel that maybe he could create something. I think Butler would realize he needed to create something that would contrast with Pattinson, and I think he could come up with something. I would at least ask him if I were Warner Brothers. I'd be like, if you were to play Superman, how would you approach it? Let's have that discussion. Now let's move over to Wonder Woman. I think, and I can't believe we're even having this conversation, which just shows the damage that was done by Wonder Woman 1984. Because I felt that, Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman to me the way that Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. At least I used to feel that way. But now I feel, especially with Pattinson doing such a great job as Batman, I'm like, well, let's see what other people might have to offer. So I think the perfect choice opposite Pattinson is Ana de Armas. Slam dunk. She did a wonderful job in No Time to Die. And quite shockingly, no comic book franchise has yet to pick her up off of that. She is potentially going to do the John Wick female spinoff, the Ballerina Assassin series, but that's not a comic book property. So I think she would be a great Wonder Woman. Another great choice is Isa Gonzalez, who I actually wanted to be Catwoman when I saw her in Hobbs and Shaw. I thought she was a great candidate for that role. But with that now taken so well by Zoe Kravitz, I think Gonzalez could also be a great candidate for Wonder Woman. And anyone who's seen The Witcher knows that Anya Shalhotra not only has, I think, the right look, that would be a great take on Wonder Woman, but she's a very strong actress. To sell the transformation that she does, especially in Witcher Season 1, you have to be a good actress. And she did a wonderful job. Now, since Cowboy Bebop is canceled, Daniella Pineda is available. She not only has a striking look, but I think she looks very physically strong as well. She seems powerful to me. And I thought she was a real scene stealer in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I think she could be great. I think she could be like a very interesting Wonder Woman to fit with Robert Pattinson's Batman. Then finally, while Elizabeth Debicki doesn't have Wonder Woman's exotic quality, she does have a regal quality. In fact, she's going to be playing Princess Diana on the upcoming season of The Crown, where she looks phenomenal. I think, speaking of leveling up one's, image inside of Hollywood and with fans, I think Debicki is on the cusp of potentially making it big. So Warner Brothers better get her in there, get in there and sign her now. But also, this is, I think, the coolest thing. She's 6'3". That's 2 inches taller than Robert Pattinson. So what? So the idea of a Wonder Woman that is as tall as Robert Pattinson's Batman, who's a very imposing figure in the film, is very cool to me. I think that would be a really neat idea. And of course, they already starred together in Tenet, again, for Warner Brothers. Studios, particularly Warner Brothers, by the way, really likes to keep talent in-house. So those are my candidates. Do you have anyone to add?
Let's take a look at that list. I'm going to take a look at this list. It's bad. It's a bad casting list. Let's take a look. David Corenswet. I don't heard of him. I never heard of him. As Superman, doesn't look like Superman at all. Jake Picking. No. Alan Richardson, well, people do like him. He's not Superman. He's not exactly a great actor. He's played Aquaman. He's played Hawk. And no, he's not Austin Butler, I know he's playing Elvis, but those eyes in that picture she showed, they do not speak Clark Superman to me. Now let's go to Wonder Woman. Ana de Armas. Maybe. Excuse me for a sec. Maybe. I was like, well, she's beautiful, and she has been in comic book movies and Fast and Furious and other things. I don't see her as Wonder Woman. She does have that exotic beauty but I just can't see her as Wonder Woman. I could see her as Talia al Ghul. I could have seen her as Catwoman. I could have seen her as Catwoman, Talia al Ghul. Maybe Wildcard Poison Ivy. But not Wonder Woman. The Anna Chalora, I don't see her as Wonder Woman either. You know, she's from Richard, right? She plays Jennifer. I don't see her as Wonder Woman. Daniella Pineda, I know her. I've seen her in Cowboy Bebop in the Jurassic Park. Now, I don't see her as Wonder Woman either. Elizabeth Debicki, yeah, I can't see her as Wonder Woman. Jesse Plemons as Lex Luthor? Yeah, I can see Jesse Plemons as Lex Luthor. He's a very good actor. Very good actor. But, I'll say this. Don't expect Lex Luthor, Superman, or Wonder Woman to appear anything in the Matt Reeves Batman universe. Okay? Don't expect it to happen. Don't expect any of that to happen. Okay? I think for Superman, I don't know who's the best one. I can't say who's the best one. For Wonder Woman, if all those five, Anna de Ramirez is my number one, and Elsa Gonzalez. I don't know. I don't know, but Anna Chalera, I can't pronounce her name. I'm sorry. I know who she is. Danielle Pineda and Elizabeth Debicki. I don't see them as Wonder Woman as all. Elsa Gonzalez, I don't see as Wonder Woman, but I could see her. As Talia al Ghul. I could picture her as Talia al Ghul. There's a rumor flying around that she's in the DCU as she's potentially Hawk Woman, Hawk Girl. But that's just take that with a grain of salt. But I could see her as Talia's Ghul, though. Just not Wonder Woman. But these characters are not going to end up. Matt Reeves is not going to end. If Matt Reeves is not going to end up using Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor, or Superman in his universe, he wants, from his own mouth, he wants to focus on Batman-related, the Batman-related lore, Batman-related characters, like his villain role gallery, his the other members of the Batman lore, like the Commissioner Gordon, perhaps Robin, Batgirl, or more of Alfred. He doesn't want to really focus on the other DC stuff with Superman, Wonder Woman. He wasn't more grounded. You know what? You can save Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor for the DCU. Keep him there. He doesn't, but that's not his attention right now, right? His attention is not to focus on. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want these characters. He doesn't want. And then there's Wonder Woman, Superman, Lex Luthor. Even though what she said about the Halloween, blah blah blah, they can still be mentioned. Just not. Who cares? Let them focus. And here's the thing: the Batman 2022 sequel is titled. They're not going to be a sequel, Grace.
I'm very curious to hear your thoughts down below, and also your thoughts on what you would do with the Batman if you were Warner Brothers.
If I was Warner Brothers, I would not introduce these three characters in the Batman universe. Yeah, I'm reading the comments, so just read the comments with me. I'm reading. See, if you want to use characters from other comic books besides Batman and grounded characters, it should not be Superman. It should be you know what? Introduce Green Arrow. Green Arrow. He's like Batman. He doesn't have any superpowers. You could just introduce Green Arrow. Have Star City. Introduce Green Arrow. You could introduce the Huntress, Robin, Nightwing. Eventually, introduce Black Canary, Green Arrow. You could do the Creston. I just don't think Superman and Wonder Woman work in this world. This is a too realistic world. This is a too realistic Batman world. Grounded. Batman was created to be how a vigilante would act in the real world. That's how Batman was created. Yeah, kind of same here, but yeah. Let me rephrase it this way. I don't want any superpower beings in this world, in the Batman universe. I want first to focus on the Batman lore, and then we can move on to other lore from other characters that are not superpower beings. That's why I said Green Arrow. I think Green Arrow is fine. I think Green Arrow could eventually you could do. Green Arrow is fine. The Crested, Huntress. I think stuff like that. I think that's fine. But first, focus on Batman and his lore first. His Will Gallery, the Bat family, stuff like that. And then you can bring in Green Arrow. You can even do some Matt Reeves, Dinah Lance, Black Canary into this universe or whatever. I just don't think it works. Save that Batman, Michael Keaton. Save that Batman for the DCEU with Michael Keaton's Batman. Save that Batman for that kind of stuff, the superpower beams. Okay, you could have two different style of Batman. So you can have Batman in the world where there's superpower beings, and you can have a Batman in the world where there's non-superpower beings. And I know you're gonna say, how are they gonna do Mr. Freeze? How are they gonna do Mr. Freeze if that's the plan for a sequel? There are ways you could do Mr. Freeze. It won't be like the traditional way, like how they did in the comics, but they could do Mr. Freeze. They'll find a way to do Mr. Freeze. How can they do Killer Croc? He's too much like a crocodile, right? Because in the movie, in the comics and stuff, and he did see him Suicide Squad, he did look like a full-blown crocodile, right? In the games, in the comics, he did have a tail. He basically looked like a crocodile. Here's the thing. You don't have to make him look like a crocodile in this film or in Matt Reeves' universe. You could do a lot of things you could do with Killer Croc. You can make him somebody who has a very bad skin condition, very bad. And it's a real condition in real life. It's legit, but not as bad as the Batman lore makes it out to be. But you have somebody like that, and he's been ridiculed all his life that forced him to get into crime, and you don't have to make him the main villain, but you can make him a big somebody has a role though, a bigger role, and he's doing all this because he's promised a cure for his condition. Maybe that's why he's doing all this. You could do realistic Killer Croc. He doesn't have to look like a crocodile in the movies. Okay, he can look like Just somebody just somebody with a very bad skin condition. He doesn't look like he doesn't have to look like a full blown. He doesn't have to look like the Lizard, okay? Doesn't have to look like the Lizard. So you could do a realistic take on Killer Croc and Mr. Freeze. You could find a way. Now, I hear some people suggest Man Bat. Man Bat might be a little bit more difficult to do. Because if you know Man Bat, Kirk Langstrom does he does research on bats, and he does eventually become a bat himself. And in this kind of this universe, Matt Reeves' universe, that's kind of stuff that might be difficult to do. If you want to do realism there. Professor Pig you could possibly do. I think Professor Pig you could get away with. A Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy might be difficult. Because she has power abilities, right? She can control plants. That might be difficult to do. Poison Ivy might be a little difficult. Two-Face you could do. Find some way how he got burned. You could introduce Rupert Thorne or whatever his name is, Rupert Thorne, into the universe. And you can get Two-Face, him doing Harvey dealing with multiple personality disorder. Not like Aaron Eckhart's Two-Face. That Two-Face did have multiple personality disorder, but in the comics, in the games, Two-Face has, or Harvey Dent has multiple personality disorder. We could explore that aspect. You could do that. Obviously, you're gonna do Joker. He's not Joker yet. You could definitely do Calendar Man. You could do Hush, because Hush is a realistic character. There's no superpowers. You could do that. Man, you could even do Deathstroke. You could do Scarecrow. Not a lot of Batman's villains have superpower abilities. And you could make a freeze gun. Trust me, you could make a gun that shoots a freeze gun for Mr. Freeze. You could do that. That's a realistic possibility, though. Really? Well, thank you, Caden. Holy shit. That's awesome. But yeah, so it's just Grace here not paying attention. And her casting choices are not for those characters are just not. I can't picture them. I think they're not good. I mean, look, Eliza Gonzalez, to me, I don't picture her as Wonder Woman. Eliza Gonzalez. Would be to me Talia al Ghul. I think she could play a Talia al Ghul. She definitely has a look to play Talia al Ghul. Definitely a better look than what's her name? Maureen Cotillard or something like that. Dark Knight Rises. She definitely. I mean, Eliza Gonzalez could play Talia al Ghul. There we go. Just a minute. Just a minute, guy. I'm promoting this. I'm promoting this because I think this could work. How do you spell her name? Because I gotta end the stream soon. How do you spell her name? I'm gonna promote this guy, Gonzalez. Gone. I can't believe they're making. What do you guys think? I see. Green Arrow is really the only one. You know what? I gotta get this. Green Arrow is the only one I could picture in this universe because he has the realism aspect in for some reason. But we kind of know that Green Arrow is in the DCU, right? Peacemaker, he's in the DCU, right? So we know that he's in the DCU. We just haven't seen him, right? We just haven't seen him. We just know because Peacemaker did mention Green Arrow. We just haven't seen him. But yes, Arkham, I know because you're a huge Batman fan. I mean, I think that's just gonna happen, Arkham. There's gonna be just Batman related characters, and that's how you this. Yeah, and my point is, I'm only okay with characters without powers in this universe. Yeah. So little short stream today. It was about Grace Randolph and her idea casting Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor for the Batman sequel, and her choices are bad, are terrible, are terrible. As Charles Barkley would say, Charles Barkley. Let me look him in Charles Barkley.
against the Arizona defense. Quick, not fast. Two things. The officiating was awful. Some of those foul calls on Wisconsin were brutal. I mean, they were just terrible. I mean, ridiculous. I understand why Coach got the technical. He didn't understand it, but there was a couple of fouls. That second call on Kaminsky, that was.
Or here's a better one. 2 seconds. Here we go.
That's terrible.
Here we go. How about that? I think that's the focus. That's definitely what the focus Matt Reeves is focusing on. Is Batman characters. You're right. And then if he's up to it in Warner Bros., that's if they ask him if he wants Superman and Wonder Woman and whatever, Lanterns, whatever. If he's up for it, then he's okay. But I think his focus is strictly Batman. But yes, thank you for watching, guys. I'm gonna end it here because it's 4 o'clock. I need to end it here. But thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Here, I'll let you end with this picture. And I'm joking, guys. Here.
Too sweet! Sweet! Too sweet! Too sweet!
So tomorrow I am having a stream, but I won't be using StreamYard. I'll be playing video games, and I'll be playing a video game while I stream tomorrow, and it's gonna be an open chat while I play games. All right, and it's gonna be about anything. It's not a specific topic. We could talk about anything, like anything. Batman, DC stuff, Marvel stuff, sports, video games, whatever. It's anything. That's tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. So yes, like, share, subscribe, comment below. With that, AW Aaron Water is out. Take care, guys.